And what is up, everybody? Happy Thursday! It is. What is it? Sorry, I literally just had to sprint back up here. I had a quick phone call coming in, checked if someone left their license. But welcome back. Happy Thursday to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what's going on. And hopefully, we got a nice, crisp, clear video again today. I finally bit the bullet. I replaced this little switchboard I had because it just kept giving us blurry video. So hopefully now we'll just get nice, crisp, clear videos because I had a backup. So here we go. So here's a good new show we got for you today. But what's going on in the crypto space? But before we talk about it, because Bitcoin just did have a little dip right now, $88,000. What just happened? What caused this? Who did cause it? Was it this gentleman right here, this Bitcoin Will Owen Gundam, who dumped his entire stack because of the institutions tightening their grip? Well, no, we'll have to go through this article to find out. But before we go over that, just a quick heads up. If you're in the Sarasota, Florida area, we're having a Friendsgiving meetup tonight. It's going to be a warm night of food, friends, and gratitude. Bring a dish or a drink to share, pull up a chair, and let's celebrate this community that keeps us going through every cycle. No agenda, just us. So we're here at 2738 Bee Ridge Road, Sarasota, Florida, 34239, and the event starts at 6 p.m. But let's go through the news. What is happening right now? Like, other than that, Bitcoin Will is selling his Bitcoin. Looks like we just got word in today that Congressman Warren Davidson introduces Bitcoin for America bill to codify the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Executive Order, eliminate capital gains tax when paying taxes with Bitcoin. So let's hear about this a little bit more. I actually pulled up the article around it. So this is going to be the new Strategic Bitcoin Reserve bill that was introduced in Congress. So Bitcoin Reserve Bill hits U.S. Congress as Representative Warren Davidson says you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin. Now, a new legislative push to formally recognize Bitcoin inside the U.S. financial system has landed in Congress, with Rep. Warren Davidson, a Republican of Ohio, introducing the Bitcoin for America Act on November 20th. Now, as per legislation, Americans will be able to pay federal taxes in Bitcoin, and all such payments will make up the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. So that's actually a nice little add-on right now. Until we actually start buying Bitcoin and adding to our reserve, I think I stumbled across a couple of tweets yesterday saying, like, America is not going to buy Bitcoin for this reserve until other countries start doing it first. So I don't know if they should do that, or I believe they should just be the first ones. But so far, the only way we're adding more Bitcoin to our reserve right now is through like seizures, confiscations from people doing criminal activities and whatnot like that. So this new bill would actually have an extra layer. So if people want to pay their taxes in Bitcoin, they won't get the capital gains tax on it, and that will be pushed into the strategic reserve as well. So that's one way to start acquiring more Bitcoin for our reserve. But in simple words, a strategic Bitcoin reserve aims to hold Bitcoin as a reserve asset in the U.S. coffers. Now, the movement will position the U.S. at the forefront of global digital asset leadership and outline the creation of a national Bitcoin reserve similar in spirit to longstanding gold holdings, said Davidson. And he did say this on Fox News. Was that today or this morning? I think it was. And then we had some funny memes going on around there. Really never thought our Moonvember rally would look like this because, oh man, I wish we were back at 91. We'll probably get back up there because we're at 88. But so like, yeah, but we'll probably get back to that 91. But yeah, who would have thought we'd be in Moonvember? It's all red. But the legislation marks an important step towards modernizing the financial systems and embracing the innovation that millions of Americans already use every day, said Davidson. Now, by allowing taxpayers to pay federal taxes in Bitcoin and having the proceeds placed into the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, the nation will benefit by having a tangible asset that appreciates in value over time, unlike the US dollar, which has steadily lost value under inflationary pressures. Now, the bill gives Americans more freedom in how they want to pay their taxes, he added. Now, Davidson also claimed that countries like China and Russia are already accumulating Bitcoin, and his legislation would ensure that the U.S. doesn't trail in the global race for digital finance. Now, the bill codifies Trump's executive order, Davidson says. Now, President Donald Trump signed the executive order to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve because the U.S. didn't have a single custodian of the cryptocurrency. Now, Davidson said in an interview on Fox News, so different agencies were losing private key holdings to Bitcoin, he claimed. Now, this is why a single custodian to hold all Bitcoin, the Fort Knox for crypto, was thought of, and he added that the plan also envisions selling other virtual currencies to buy more Bitcoin in a deficit-neutral way, he added. Now, Davidson said not only does His legislation codified Trump's executive order. It also allows Americans to pay taxes in Bitcoin without any capital gains tax. Now, the Bitcoin Policy Institute endorses this legislation. The Bitcoin Policy Institute endorsed Davidson's Bitcoin for America Act, and Connor Brown, head of strategy at BPI, said that the Bitcoin for America Act proves that a strategic Bitcoin reserve doesn't need to be a top-down mandate by letting Americans voluntarily contribute Bitcoin through their tax payments. It creates the first truly democratic, market-driven model for national Bitcoin accumulation. Now, there was a tweet out there showing most people think this is bigger than it is. So let's see, how does this person say? Lucas_USDT. He commented on the post about this, saying that this is bigger than most realize. Let me break down why. So we're eliminating capital gains tax when paying taxes with Bitcoin equals the circular economy activation. So think of it about it. Right now, you got to do Bitcoin to USD, which is a taxable event. You pay taxes, double taxation. But after this bill, Bitcoin to pay directly to your taxes, and no additional tax added right there at all. So no more double taxation, is just going straight in there. So I guess this creates a closed loop system where Bitcoin never needs to touch fiat, and that's how hyper Bitcoinization starts. Not through speculation, but through utility. The strategic reserve piece codifies what everyone's thinking but not saying. Fiat currencies are losing purchasing power faster than governments can admit it. Holding BTC reserves equals a hedging against their own monetary policy failures. Question now, will other states follow, or will this create a Bitcoin arbitrage where people move to states with Bitcoin-friendly tax policies? Wait, so is this happening just in Ohio? Or I thought this was going to be for everyone, so we just got to wait to see when more information about this comes out. But yeah, so will you be paying your taxes in Bitcoin? You don't have to worry about that capital gains tax, and why not? It's always good to also spend Bitcoin and then also replenish it. Because we always say hodl your Bitcoin. Yeah, you want to hodl it, but hey, why not take advantage of this? Pay your taxes. You got no capital gains tax without Bitcoin, and then buy more Bitcoin after you spent it. And so that's always how I like to tell people to do it. It's because you always want to save. We also want to treat it as a currency. So just use it as a currency and then replenish it after you use it. It's so easy to do. Everyone has a phone they can use. They can go to Coinbase, they can go to Cash App, buy, boom, there you go. I got my Bitcoin back. So yeah, so that's a very interesting news article coming to start off. Now let's talk about that Bitcoin will. Is he the one dumping the price right now? Because we got word that Metaplanet's trying to raise more money too. So even though he's selling, institutions, other wills are just going to buy it up from him. But let's hear about this Owen Gundam's stash that's being liquidated. So Bitcoin OG Owen Gundan sells 1.3 billion in Bitcoin as retail panic grows. Now, while institutional ownership of Bitcoin's ETF climbs to 40% despite market fear. So Owen Gundan, one of the richest early Bitcoin holders, has sold his entire Bitcoin position as retail investors flee the market and institutions continue to increase their share of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. Now, the wallet tagged as Owen Gundan by blockchain data platform Arkham transferred his last 2,499 Bitcoin, worth approximately $228 million, to the cryptocurrency exchange Kraken on Thursday, so that is today. In total, Gundam's wallet has sold 11,000 Bitcoin, worth around $1.3 billion since October 21st, liquidating his entire Bitcoin holdings, according to Arkham. Now, Gundam's transaction comes amid growing concerns over the end of the bull market. Now, with the Bitcoin market conditions deteriorating to the most bearish level during the current cycle, CryptoQuant's bull score index has declined to 20 out of 100 of extreme bearish. And Cointelegraph reported earlier on Thursday. Now here is them using the mempool to showcase his wallet holdings. So he had about 11,000 at one time, but started selling on October 21st. Now, what was Bitcoin's price when we were out there? Let's take a look. So that's a week or about a month out. So where was October 22nd? So, okay, so he's been liquidating since the 110. So kind of makes sense for all this going down. He's part of just one of the pieces of the puzzle for why we're going down. But I think once he's finished selling, the fear is going to kind of go away, and then price is going to go back up, because I don't think we're done yet. I really don't. I think we're seeing articles about death crosses, and people are kind of bullish because of that. But also, even Ivan on Tech, I've always been saying, just take it day by day right now, people. Because the last 2 days, I love watching Ivan on Tech. He's the first guy I listen to in the morning for my crypto news. And the last 2 days was bearish. It's oh no. And then today, totally bullish, and then he was making fun of it, going like, people are going, Ivan, you were bearish yesterday, why are you bullish? It's like, well, you just gotta follow the news, take it day by day right now. So he is bullish again. So I feel like this may be like Mr. Gundam may be one of the guys like causing this little dip to go, but I feel like with all these rich guys out there saying, hey, if you knew what I knew, like Bitcoin would be at $10 million per coin right now, so you wouldn't be selling. So just keep stacking. But let's continue on with this article. So Gundam is the 8th richest person in crypto with a net worth of about $561 million, according to Arkham's list of top crypto millionaires. Now, Gundam was an early Bitcoin arbitrage trader on exchanges like TradeHill. And let me mute this. Sorry, I can't answer the phone. So someone else has to answer that. But Gundam is the 8th richest person in crypto with a net flow of about $561 million, according to Arkham's list of top crypto millionaires. Now, Gundam was an early Bitcoin arbitrage trader on exchanges like TradeHill and now the defunct Mt. Gox exchange. He traded tens of thousands of Bitcoin on the exchange when it was still operational until 2014, building his on-chain wealth. Now, institutional ETF ownership surges. So meanwhile, the institutional ownership of US spot Bitcoin ETFs continues rising to new highs, despite retail fears over the end of the bull market cycle. Now, the institutional ownership of Bitcoin ETFs surged to 40% on Wednesday, wrote Bitcoin and analyst Root in the next post, and this marked a significant increase from the 27% of institutional ownership recorded in the second quarter of 2024, when about 1,119 firms held investments via US spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, I do know, we have been getting a lot of outflows with the ETFs out there, which was, bearish news. So I was expecting low runs to go. But I think we just after 5 days, we finally pulled out of that bearish trap. So I was stumbling across some articles out there or Twitter posts. And so, so that's finally like a sign of hope. It's like, yes, we're no longer in the downwards trend of outflows coming in. Because we always look for bullish news articles of more inflows going into the ETFs, this institution's adopting Bitcoin, like the tax, like pay your taxes with no capital gains tax on Bitcoin. That's a bullish news out there. So that's what I'm always looking for. So when I finally get a little bit of news saying, no, we got more inflows coming into the ETFs, it's like, yes, maybe Bitcoin's price is going to go up. But here's a chart showing institutions versus retail. And this was a source by Root. So this is the total ETF holding. So I'm believing is the gray chart the institutions, while the green chart's the green chart's institutional holdings, while this one doesn't even show the retail. So how can I tell the difference? Well, but the 40% is based on the latest 13F filing of institutional participants, which is conservative estimate, considering that only institutions manage over $100 million and are required to file these reports to Securities and Exchange Commissions, Root said. Now, the growing figures indicate that institutions are still holding onto their shares, despite the large-scale selling by ETF shareholders, which has resulted in a $2.8 billion in outflows so far in November, according to Farsight Investors. So right here, we're getting numbers that the large guys, they're still holding. So the outflows has been coming from the retail, just being a little bit fearful, going like, uh-oh, we're done listening to any person they see online or their buddy who's very lacking in crypto, and they're just always so negative that they're going, you know what, that thought just goes in their mind. Maybe this is the end, but they're not playing the fundamentals. Like I was saying, like, here's the news, like, show me the price, I'll show you the news. So if we're going probably in a downward, we're probably going to get some bad news out there. But when we're in a bull run, there's lots of good news happening. Except when we actually do have a cycle, like a 4-year cycle, which isn't happening anymore because we're already way past that with Bitcoin. But like usually during an actual 4-year cycle, even when we're at the very bearish, like going downwards before we start going up, like any news article is still pushing that. Good news article is pushing the price down. So right now we're not following that plan. Like I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with me on that. Like we're not on a traditional 4-year cycle. These people are dumping because they think we are. Because usually, this would be the end of it. Like November, December, we're probably seeing prices go down. But I don't believe this is the end. I think we're going to continue rolling into 2026. And who knows, maybe we did get pushed back a full year. Maybe we'll get a full-time bull run alt season. Or maybe it'll be like what Michael Saylor said, like we'll be seeing 30% increases from here on out. So we'll have some volatility, but it's going to be growing 30% every year. So lots of speculation and just like predictions out there. So I say just keep studying, keep hodling, and don't let fun news shake you out. Just always follow the fundamentals of what Bitcoin actually is, a truly peer-to-peer peer-to-peer sovereign currency out there that you're in full control of. No middleman telling you how or why you should spend your money out there. So always just stick with that for what actually gives Bitcoin value. But that's that Bitcoin will selling his Bitcoin. But who else is actually buying it? So even though we got the Wills, or that one Will selling his Bitcoin, we still got the huge institution Metaplanet buying more or wanting to buy more. Because it looks like Metaplanet eyes a $135 million raise via new Class B shares to fuel more Bitcoin buys. So Metaplanet plans to raise $135 million through the issuance of a new Class B perpetual preferred shares as part of a broader restructuring tied to the Bitcoin treasury strategy. Now, Metaplanet is preparing another major capital raise through the issuance of its new Class B perpetual preferred shares to expand its Bitcoin-focused treasury strategy. According to the filing submitted to the Tokyo Stock Exchange, the firm plans to issue 23.6 million Class B shares at 900 yen, which is about $5.71 per share, each, bringing the total raise to 21.2 billion yen, roughly 135 million US dollars. Now, the offering will be executed through a third-party allotment to oversee investments pending approval at an extraordinary shareholder meeting set for December 2022, or December 22nd. I wanted to even say 22. December 22nd, 2025. So that's going to be a shareholder meeting. Definitely going to look forward to. Now, the new Class B shares comes with a fixed annual dividend of 4.9% on a 6.34 notional amount, translating to about almost 8 cents per quarter once regular payments begin. Now, holders will have the right to convert the preferred shares into common stocks at $6.34 conversion price. Now, however, the company retains the market price call option that can be exercised if the stock trades above 130%, and the liquidation preference for the 20 consecutive trading days. The shares are non-voting but carry redemption rights under specific events. Now, Metaplanet cancels its old warrants. The capital raise is paired with a broader restructuring of Metaplanet's financing instruments. The company plans to cancel its 20th through the 22nd stock acquisition rights and issue a new 23rd and 24th series rights to the Cayman Islands based investment fund, Evo Fund, and is subject to regulatory approval. Now, in the accompanying post on X, Metaplanet CEO Simon Girovich revealed that the company's new Class B Perpetuals Preferred Equity Program is called Mercury. It's going to have a 4.9% fixed dividend at 1,000 yen conversion price, a new step in scaling Metaplanet's Bitcoin treasury strategy, he wrote. Now, here is that actual tweet. So today we announced Mercury, our new Class B Perpetual Preferred Equity, 4.9% fixed dividend, 1,000 yen conversion price, and a new step to scaling Metaplanet's Bitcoin treasury strategy. And yep, it is called Mercury. Now, Metaplanet's shares ended the day up 3.2%, gaining 12 points. However, the company's stock is down by over 60% over the past 6 months, according to data from Google Finance. Now, Metaplanet's Bitcoin bet deep in the red. So Metaplanet, the fourth largest public company globally in Bitcoin holdings, now holds 30,823 Bitcoin, worth approximately $2.82 billion, according to the BitcoinTreasury.net. Now, the company acquired its Bitcoin stash at an average purchase price of $108,036 per Bitcoin, currently sitting at negative 15.7% of unrealized loss, down sharply from October highs. And again, it's only unrealized loss because they're not selling, so it's just unrealized right now. Now, here's Metaplanet's actual holdings. We see the 30,820 through what their average cost was, so 108,000 per coin, still not bad. But that is currently at a 15% negative right now. So Metaplanet is still going to be buying more. They're going to raise capital to get it. So again, they're not going to sell their Bitcoin. Like, even though it's down 15%, they want more. They're following MicroStrategy's plan. They've been labeled the Asian MicroStrategy. So yeah, so again, like, I still see, like, when I still see institutions like and companies buying large amounts of Bitcoin or planning to buy more, which they've already been like, they're planning on buying it, but it's in the works to do so. So it's like, I already know, like, when I just hear they're planning, they haven't done it yet, but Metaplanet has already proven itself that they are going to continuously keep buying it. It's not like it's saying, like, we're going to do this, and they don't do it. They've done this many times already, so it's like, oh, they're just going to do it again. So I don't think they're not going to do it, But again, it all comes down if they can raise the 135 million with those Class B shares. But yeah, so that's Metaplan news, at least wanting to buy more Bitcoin. Definitely a bullish news compared to the Bitcoin whale who dumps his entire stash of Bitcoin. But that's part of why, again, Bitcoin's price is down. We just hit a new bottom? Let's see. I think, did we just reach 87,000? Oh, we were at 86,000 Bitcoin. What is going on right now? How low can we go? But let's take a quick commercial break and we'll talk about some more Bitcoin news. I got some bullish news, like the Bitcoin Core had its first third-party audit with no vulnerability, so it's still a strong network. And also there's a bit citizenship in Italy, so we got some good news coming for Bitcoin. Why is price going down? It's probably just that one dude. But yeah, so we'll be right back after these messages.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
And we are back. So yes, if you guys want more information about all of the programs we have to offer, go to bitcoinben.io, take a look at us, and become a member of the club. And we do have new member pricing out there. So if you just want to be a part of the programs, because you're nowhere near a club, you don't need our educational classes or our one-on-one consultations, our programs membership is only $4.99. And then that gains you access to all of those programs, the confidential bulk purchases, loans for Bitcoin, home to HODL. So definitely, we listen. Prices went down, so it's not too pricey to take advantage of these programs. So definitely go to bitcoinben.io or give us a call at 941-413-8080. It'll be scrolling down here the entire video. Now let's continue on with the news. So let's talk about Bitcoin, how Bitcoin's core wins a rare praise of an independent audit and finds no serious flaws. So it just proves Bitcoin's network is pretty much flawless with no errors or issues at all. So Bitcoin Core's first independent audit found no serious vulnerabilities, with reviewers praising the project's security and testing depth and overall code maturity. I guess I'm my Diet Coke first. Delicious. Now, Bitcoin Core has cleared its first ever third-party security audit, with results confirming that the software securing the world's largest decentralized network is highly mature. The review, conducted by French security firm Quarks Lab and commissioned by Ostif on behalf of Brink, examined the project's most sensitive components, particularly the peer-to-peer layer and block validation logic. Now, it's over a 104-day period that happened between May and September. And according to the report, Bitcoin's Core's codebase is the most mature and well-tested. The auditors evaluated, despite its size, which includes more than 200,000 lines of C++ code and over 1,200 tests already in place. And the team found no high or medium severity vulnerabilities, identifying only 2 low-severity issues and a series of improvement suggestions related mostly to fuzzing harness and test coverage. None of the findings had any impact on consensus, denial of service, resilience, or transaction validation. Now, here is that ID chart. So yeah, we got low 2, info 1, really only low 3, low 2. Those were the only lows, nothing medium or high, and everything else is info. Now, reviewers find no exploitable bugs in it, so the audit placed heavy emphasis on Bitcoin's peer-to-peer network layer, the component responsible for relaying blocks, transactions, and peer-to-peer discovery across roughly 125 connections per node. Now, reviewers reported that no cases were malicious data that could bypass validation or the ban mechanism designed to isolate misbehaving peers. Now, the team also examined the mempool logic, chain state transitions, and reorganization handling, all areas where subtle bugs could create network-wide disruptions, but no exploitable pathways were identified in these areas either. And there's no significant security issues were identified. Most recommendations focus on refining existing fuzziness harnesses to further improve their effectiveness and coverage, the report concluded. Now let's talk about Bitcoin Core versus Knots debate. Everyone's always talking about this, and Bitcoin Core is the OG, the original, and hence why all these other updates like the Knots are created off of Core, but still validating the SHA-256 algorithm, and they all come to the same finish line. But the audit comes amid the recent disputes between supporters of Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Knots. Now, the month-long debate triggered by the Bitcoin Core v30 update centers on whether non-financial data should be allowed on the blockchain, with critics warning that the changes could open the floodgates to spam. Now, Knots supporters argue that filtering out such data is necessary to prevent illegal or unethical content from being embedded in Bitcoin's ledger. Now, Bitcoin's core developers, however, say imposing restrictions would harm the network's cohesion, confuse users, and run counter to the technology's foundational principles of openness and neutrality. And according to Galaxy Digital's head of research, Alex Thorne, most institutional Bitcoin investors appear unfazed by the dispute. Based on Thorne's poll of 25 institutional clients, 46% weren't aware of it, 36% said they didn't even care, and the remaining 18% all sided with Bitcoin Core. So the big players really just aren't really paying attention to it. It's more of the developers in the core which are really for it. It's like, we're okay with it, it's cool. But again, yeah, the debate on this was, I believe, increasing Bitcoin's block size. But then that kind of what they're worried about is the spam aspect. Remember when the runes and oracles came out on Bitcoin's blockchain, the NFTs basically on chain, that slowed down the network considerably. I think made transactions very high. So again, Bitcoin Core's upgrade was increase that, but then the Knots side of it, the Knots side of the people who'd use that side were worried that we may get too much more spam because of it, and that's what not Bitcoin needs. So there is a debate going on between Core and Knots and which one's better to use, but Core is still the oldest and again the most secure. Basically, it's what all the other ones follow through on. But yeah, we definitely should have a class here at the Crypto Club about Knots versus Core and just really go over it all. I started one, but then I started really going should I be teaching more easier terms where people can understand what the gist is between the difference, or should I really go high tech, make this an intermediate class where we really understand the UTXOs, the transactions, and all that stuff? So yeah, but this is a window for Bitcoin Core because again, no flaws at all, still a secure structure, and that's what I love to hear with Bitcoin. Now let's continue on with the news, and let's see. It looks like what's going on over in Italy. We have citizenship. It expands to Italy and launches Bitcoin-aligned Visa investment program. So if you want a Visa in Italy, it may only take a little bit of Bitcoin, or a lot. Let's see how much it costs. Now, Citizenship launches BTC Italia and the Bitcoin Dolce Visa, a Bitcoin-aligned €250,000 startup investment pathway for securing Italian residency under the investor program. Now, Citizenship is introducing a new way for global investors to access Italy's investor visa while keeping exposure to Bitcoin. The company announced the launch of Citizenship Italia SRL, and a Milan-based innovative startup focused on Bitcoin Layer 2 yield and treasury management. The initiative, branded as the Bitcoin Dolce Vita, enables qualified applicants to obtain Italy's official investor visa through a €250,000 startup investment. Now, unlike traditional Golden Visa programs, this structure combines regulatory compliance with Bitcoin native operations, allowing investors to secure Italian residency through a technology-driven equity position. Now, why does it matter? Well, Italy has emerged as one of Europe's most surprising economic success stories. It remains the world's 8th largest economy and the 3rd largest in the EU, with exports reaching 612 billion euros in 2024 and generating 46 billion euros in trade surplus. Now, since 2020, Italy's main stock market index has more than doubled 120%, outpacing the broader European average. Government bonds yield now sit below France's public debt and has stabilized at roughly 127% of GDP. And the country's various tax incentives regimes have demonstrated strong performance in attracting investment. Now, this is a significant capital market reform law and is also approaching, which is expected to make Italy's financial landscape even more dynamic. Now, Bitcoin Italia builds on these trends by offering global citizens a Bitcoin-aligned entry point into one of Europe's strongest performing economies through a compliant, innovative startup structure. Now, how does the Bitcoin Dulce Visa work? Well, the program follows Italy's established investor visa pathway with the following features. Again, €250,000 equity investment into Bit Citizenship Italia SRL, a visa approval first, so investment completed only after authorization, the company treasury anchored in Bitcoin used as working capital, a non-custodial Bitcoin layer 2 staking as core operational activity, and withdrawal redemption windows every 24 months. Now, this is a new category in global mobility. So, in announcing the initiative, BitCitizen co-founder Alessandra Palombo framed Bitcoin Italia as the next evolution in aligning mobility with digital sovereignty. He said that BTC Italia represents the next step in our mission to align global mobility with digital sovereignty. Italy is rapidly becoming one of Europe's most attractive destinations for capital, talent, and innovation. Now, with the Bitcoin Dulce Visa, investors can access Italian residency through a compliant Bitcoin startup structure, while also supporting the growth of Italy's tech ecosystem. Now, Bit Citizenship has already facilitated more than 25 million euros in Bitcoin aligned with residency investments across the global operations, and the company also recently onboarded Balaji Srinivasan, author of The Network State and the former CTO of Coinbase, as an early backer, and further reinforcing its mission at the intersection of Bitcoin, mobility, and global citizenship. Now, BTC Italia enters the market with 2 million euros in pre-launch, private placement, and commitments. Now, about Bit Citizenship, they are a Singapore-based fintech group building Bitcoin-aligned residency and investment pathways for global citizens. Now, Bit Citizenship Italia SRL is an innovative startup headquartered in Milan, advancing Bitcoin native treasury technologies within Italy's innovation ecosystem. Now, if you guys want to know more about Bitcoin Italia and the Bitcoin Dulce Visa, visit bitcitizenship.com/Italy, and it'll take you over here to this webpage, if it would ever load up, to welcome to Bitcoin Dulce Visa, and yeah, check your eligibility if you want to do it. So that's how you do it, but yeah, would you guys be a part of that, or is 250 euros too expensive? And actually, really was that? Are you paying for the actual visa, or are you starting a startup crypto business out there, which then gives you the visa to basically live there? So I think I need to do a deeper dive into that. But again, I'm reading these articles with you guys. I see the title and I go, you know what? Let's share this article, and I don't read it until we actually go live. So I definitely want to know a little bit more about that, because this doesn't seem like you're just paying for a golden visa. Usually with golden visas, you pay this amount and boom, you have a visa for that country. So this was definitely a little different. I gotta definitely dive in a little bit more into that. But that is basically all the Bitcoin news I have for you. So we had a lot of stuff. The Bit Citizenship of Italy, Bitcoin Core praised for having no vulnerabilities, Metaplanet's raising capital to buy another 150 million Bitcoin, pay your taxes in the US with Bitcoin with no capital gains attached to it, and then the FUD news article where that Bitcoin Will was selling his 11,000 Bitcoin. But that is all the Bitcoin news. Now let's talk about Ripple. Ripple, XRP, usually there's not that much. There's always a speculation on it, but right now they're just talking about exploring bringing XRP to DeFi through staking on the XRP ledger. So again, this is what Ripple's discussing out there for all you XRP people. Just want to stay up to date what's going on over there. But Ripple CTO David Schwartz outlined two possible staking models, through both remain theoretical. Now, Ripple is weighing in whether to bring staking to XRP Ledger, a move that would push the decade-old blockchain deeper into the rapidly expanding world of decentralized finance. Now, the discussion began after J.A.O. Akinyi, head of engineering at Ripple's X, published a blog post exploring how staking could expand XRP's utility and reshape incentives among validators and token holders. Now, Ripple says XRPL staking would boost its security. So, Akinyele, is that Akinyele? Akinyele, yep, said that the idea naturally emerged as new capabilities roll out across XRP's ledger. Now, staking, he argued, could encourage long-term participation and strengthen the network security by rewarding those who help maintain consensus. Now, if they do continue on with this article and start talking about what they mean by the long-term participation, how are they going to do it? Every chain is different for it when it comes to staking. Are they going to put like a holding limit where it gives you options where it's like, oh, you're going to hold for 1 month and this is what you earn, or you hold for 3 months, this is what you earn, or do you hold for a whole year and then you can gain this X amount? Or are they going to be actually rolling out through like block times? Like I know the Theta network, when you stake them, takes about 48 hours to unstake their tokens, and then boom, it's good for you. That one other project, Divi, like they were instantaneous. You click on stake, boom, you can use it whenever. So if they do go with this route, I think it would be best to have shorter staking periods, or where it doesn't take so long if somebody wants to just unstake it, gain access to the tokens. Because if they got to hold it for a whole month and the prices are dipping or they're going up and you want to take advantage of that profit, like it's stuck there. So we'll see how they want to play it out. But again, Ripple is just talking about this right now. So again, then they think it would be a long-term participation, which would strengthen their network. But however, enabling staking would require fundamental changes to the ledger's architecture. The XRP currently burns transaction fees to maintain a deflationary supply, and redistributing them as rewards would demand a rework of the core systems. Now, the XRP ledger was originally designed for efficient value transfer, particularly for cross-border payments, its main use case for years. Now, as XRP gains traction among corporate treasuries and appears in exchange-traded products, Ripple is considering how new features like staking might help the network stay competitive. However, shifting XRPL toward a reward-driven system raises questions about its underlying principles, including its proof of association model, which prioritizes trust over economic incentives. And here is a tweet from Diana Breaking. Ripple CTO says XRP may need a fresh look, even floating the idea of native staking for the first time ever. So here's what just happened, and she explained a little bit more. But Ripple CTO David Schwartz added a nuance to this debate, outlining two theoretical paths for bringing staking to XRPL. The first is a dual-layer consensus model, including incentivized inner layers of about 16 validators chosen by the broader validator set based on stake. And then this inner group would advance the ledger using slashing and staking mechanisms, while the outer layer would maintain governance and monitor the system. Now, the second approach would preserve XRPL's current consensus while using fees to fund zero-knowledge proofs verification. ZKP allows participants to prove facts without revealing information, enabling a trust-minimized way to validate participation. Now, Schwartz cautioned that both concepts, while promising, remain distant. The level of engineering effort and risk and structural change required means staking is unlikely to arrive on XRPL anytime soon. So yeah, he's just clarifying, like, they're just talking about this. Don't expect this to come out next month, in half a year, or maybe even a year. This is going to take a lot of work. Like, I forgot how long it actually took Ethereum to go from proof of work to proof of stake. Like, it was a process to do. So it's not just going to happen overnight. So if they do end up making this change, it's going to take some time, guys. But Ripple welcomes the Fed proposal giving crypto firms access to payment rails. So earlier this month, Ripple's chief legal officer, Stu Alderodi, said that the proposal from the Federal Reserve Governor, Christopher Waller, to allow crypto companies access to skinny Fed accounts that could reshape the U.S. digital asset landscape. Now, Waller argued that the stablecoin issuers and other crypto firms should be able to tap directly into the Fed's payment systems, reducing reliance on traditional banks that often hesitate to serve the sector. Now, He urged regulators to embrace the disruption, don't avoid it, signaling a more open stance towards decentralized finance. Now, Ripple, which previously applied for a Fed master account to support its RLUSD stablecoin, sees the idea as transformative. Now, Alderodi told Reuters that the proposal could speed up settlement, lower costs, and help RLUSD gain traction in a competitive stablecoin market dominated by Tether and Circle. And he also added that having direct access to the Fed would improve stability and redeemability, enabling firms to move quickly between the US Treasury and dollars without banking middlemen at all. So this is what Ripple XRP has been working on. Nothing's, again, set in stone out there like their Fed proposal giving crypto firms, like they did a proposal there. And also, again, we're making a proposal on should we boost switch over to staking and add that to the ledger. So it's all just, again, I see this as just all talk. It's like, it's nice news to hear. It's nice that they're talking. They're doing some stuff out there. But again, it's like, it hasn't happened yet. So I was like, when stuff's finally done, it happened, and then I can share the news. But again, it was kind of a slow news day, so I was like, I think I need to bring up some Ripple news. But that's what's going on with Ripple on XRP, maybe going to DeFi and all that whatsoever. It's still going to be a centralized product. That's how I see it. But let's move on to our final news article. For those of you using WhatsApp, especially in Brazil, this is a warning to you, because WhatsApp worm targets Brazilian crypto wallets and bank accounts. So alert, WhatsApp worm is spreading and a banking Trojan in Brazil targeting crypto wallets and financial logins. Now, Brazilian crypto holders are urged to be on the lookout for a sophisticated hacking campaign that includes a hijacking worm and a banking Trojan shared via WhatsApp messages. According to a new report from TrustWave's cybersecurity research team, Spider Labs, the banking Trojan known as Eternidade Stealer is being pushed via social engineering and messaging application WhatsApp, such as fake government programs, delivery notifications, messages from friends, and fraudulent investment groups. But WhatsApp continues to be one of the most exploited communication channels in Brazil and cybercrime ecosystem. And it's not even just there. It's like WhatsApp and Telegram, like they are the ones dominating, just like the people exploiting like how free open it is. Like they message anybody, oh, go here, blah, 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 and get like a scam rolling in somehow. Like sure, we had Facebook and Instagram, but WhatsApp and Telegram, those ones have the most scams that you gotta be careful of. But let's see. So where was I at with this? So WhatsApp continues to be most over the past 2 years. So here we go. So over the past 2 years, threat actors have refined their tactics using the platform's immense popularity to distribute banker Trojans and information stealing malware, said Spider Labs researcher Nathaniel Morales, John Bassimer, and Nikita Kazmierski. Now, explaining the process in layman terms, clicking the worm link in WhatsApp set off a chain reaction that infects the victim with both the worm and the banking Trojan. Now, the worm hijacks the account and obtains the victim's contact list, and then it utilizes smart filtering to ignore business contacts and groups to target individual contacts for a more efficient process. Meanwhile, the banking Trojan is a file automatically downloaded onto the victim's device that deploys the Eternidade Stealer in the background, which is able to scan for financial data and logins to a range of Brazilian banks and fintechs or crypto exchange and wallets out there. And here's that technical analysis of this, the test of it, went to what's up, blah, blah, blah. So the campaign begins via an obfuscated VBS script with most of its comments written in Portuguese. Then when executed, the script drops a batch file that downloads an executive payload and a WhatsApp propagated worm and an MSI installer that deploys the Delphi-based banking Trojan in there. But the malware also has a clever way to avoid detection or being shut down. Instead of having a fixed server address, it utilizes a preset Gmail account to check for new commands via email. And this enables the hackers to change commands by sending new emails. Now, one notable feature of this malware is that it uses hard-coded credentials to log into its email account, from which it retrieves its C2 server. It is a very clever way to update its C2 and maintain persistence and evade detections or takedowns on a network level. Now, if the malware cannot connect to the email account, it uses hard-coded fallback C2 address, the report reads. Now, according to data from crypto analytics platform Chain Analysis, Brazil is the largest country for crypto adoption in Latin America and ranks 5th in the firm's 2025 Global Crypto Adoption Index, which is top 20. Now, the index is based on the country's usage of different types of crypto services and takes into account other factors, including population size and purchasing power. Now, how can you stay safe with this out there? Users of apps such as WhatsApp are advised to tread with caution with any link sent to them, even if it's from a trustworthy contact. A helpful tactic can be to message them on a separate app to confirm if the link is okay, and be suspicious of a link sent out of the blue with limited context given. Now, keeping software updated can also help protect people from potential bugs targeting older versions, while also antivirus software can also potentially help flag issues. If someone has been hacked, it is important to immediately freeze all potential access points to banking and crypto services to stop the bleed. Now, tracking funds can also help exchanges, researchers, and authorities track where the assets are going, potentially helping them freeze the hacker wallets out there. So again, guys, like when it comes to everything online, just like, again, these are basically phishing attacks. Like they're putting a link out there, hoping you click on it, and then boom, either you're compromised, you went to a fake website, or whatnot. Just do not click on links unless you're really certain you know who it's from. Again, like they said, contact that person or friend on another landline or another app and go, hey, did you just send me this link just to verify if it was them or not? And they go, no, that wasn't me. Boom, there's a scam warning. So that's a way kind of to prevent it. Just, again, if you always really want to prevent it, just never click on any links that someone sends you. And that's just plain and simple on how to stay safe out there. But just be on alert out there, especially to all those people down in Brazil, but just really anyone using WhatsApp or Telegram. It's just like it's filled with scammers out there. So just always be alert and just be aware of that. But that is it for all the news I have for you. We are still in extreme fear territory right now. We're at 15, and yep, we are still red. Bitcoin is at $86,600 right now. Ethereum's at $2,800. Let's see, BNB 875. XRP, oh boy, it's under $2. It's at $199. Solana's at 132, and if we take a look at the market, it is still red from crypto bubbles. Only a small few is in a little bit of green, like Atom's up 5. Pi, I don't know why Pi is up 3%. APT1, Graph is up 2, Dash 3.9, and Zcash still dominating. So, didn't they just have a little dip though recently? Like, let's see, Zcash. Let's take a look at them, because someone did mention to me. It's like, well, we experienced some highs already with them, so people may be taking profit. But no, we had this, like, it was this little dip right here. But hey, it's making moves again. So again, always be speculative. I'm always like speculative on this, just because when you look at the year, I'm just like looking at this, like we didn't really get the pump since September 26th. Yeah, so about like 2 months ago, like it started really pumping. And I just think whoever was in it at this time, it's like they're ready to take profits. So I probably wouldn't be putting money into Zcash, even though it's pumping green. Never chase the wave. Never chase it, because that's the moment you buy in, that's when prices start dipping, and then you get some bear attitude. You're not liking the market anymore. I lost money. So I would just hold off on Zcash. If there's another dip and you do want to get involved with that coin because you believe in it, kudos. But I would not be buying that one right now. But guys, that is it for the news. And again, tonight we're having our Bitcoin potluck, Friendsgiving, or crypto gratitude meetup. So I hope to see you guys here at 6 o'clock. I got to get ready for our crypto class right now, happening in literally 45 minutes. We're just doing a live demo, just transferring crypto, showing you how it's done. So it's going to be me and Steve Blanco up in Nashville. And yes, Nashville's having a Bitcoin 101 meetup too with Bitcoin Ben. So hopefully we'll see you at all these events out there. And I will see you guys tomorrow with some more crypto news. So take care.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.